I speak a lot about goal setting and trying to set goals and try to be abundant and try to work towards something in life so you can have a more fruitful life. And here's one of the things that came to mind that I wanted to bring up to you. Let's say you've already set your goal and you're on that path. You have to understand, excuse me, that you are in a different mindset. And there's a part of you that's emotionally vulnerable right now. You're channeling your energy in a different direction. So because you're living that path of achievement and abundance, what you want to do, a part of you wants to reach out to those who are in a place where you used to be. And it's okay if you want to show that type of benevolence. That's understandable. But the thing is, you have to be watchful who you give that energy to. I say this in particular because I've come across a lot of situations where people would start businesses or do things like go back to school, or they would make that major shift, and they'll bring people into their fold that their headspace is just not there. They're ready to reap the rewards, but they're not willing to do an ounce of work for it. And I've mentioned this before, and I've talked about certain types of people in an aggressive manner who try to get involved in your endeavors and reap the fruits of your labor. And some of them even try to bring you down and still will come back when it's time for harvest and try to get a piece of it, and then try to use emotional blackmail to get what they want from you. They come at you aggressively. You know, that they're filled with piss and vinegar because you did something for yourself and you paid your dues, but they're mad at you about it. You know what I mean? That's pretty backward shit. It really is. But there's another type of people, they're very subtle. You got to be careful about them. These are the people that are woe is me. These are the Debbie Downers. Every time you talk to them, there's a sob story, an elaborate sob story. And, over a period of time, you start to realize, okay, what you do is you get caught up in the circumstances. You figure, oh, well, they're having this problem, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially. And this person uses that type of deficiency as a form of emotional manipulation to get things out of people. Bottom line, the truth is that they're lazy. I'm sorry that they went through some trauma. Most of us have. And I'm not diminishing the fact that they went through the trauma, but they do have things that can help them through it. They have services, they have medications if that's what's necessary. So if they're not doing anything to try to work through that trauma, then essentially they don't want to, because they've used that trauma as a tool to get what they want from other people and not do any work on themselves. And so this person is sitting up here on the sidelines watching you make it happen. Regardless of what pace it is, whether it's slow or fast, they're watching you. They are watching you because they already know that you have some kind of feeling or some kind of care for them. So what they're doing is they're sitting on the side and they're just watching you run the race. They haven't helped you train. They haven't paid your registration fees to participate. They haven't bought you a uniform. They haven't gone shopping with you for shoes. They haven't helped you do anything to get set up for this race. But they're sitting in the bleachers watching you run the race. Some of them don't even cheer for you. But they'll sit down there, watch you run the race, knowing in the back of their mind that you're the fastest thing out there and that you're going to win. They've already got plans for your bounty before you even enter the race. And then all of a sudden, when you do finish the race, they'll come to you, and they won't be aggressive about it like the other people are. They'll come to you and say, "Oh yeah, I knew you." They're very subtle. "Oh yeah, I knew that you could do it." And then over a period of time, all of a sudden, they need little things. Penny shit. All of a sudden, penny shit turned into dollar shit. Then all of a sudden, dollar shit turned into paycheck dollar shit. It's just a gradual thing. It's like a snowball effect. Oh, I came to the race and everything to see you perform and everything, but you know what? I don't know what's going on with my car, but I, if I could just get a little gas money, for you to, little gas money, you give them a few dollars. Okay, that opened the door. That opened the door, because that's telling them right there, you've already gotten something. You have more than what they have, or you have something that they're not willing to use. Then all of a sudden, the following week or month, it's something a little bigger. I don't have any groceries in my house. I need to get groceries. Now, this person's already getting some kind of assistance, or they probably have somebody living in the house with them. They'll have somebody that's already contributing, but they're short now. They're short this month, and they need a little help. So all of a sudden, that $5 that you gave them a few weeks ago has turned into $25, $50 for groceries. Then a month later, all of a sudden, we're getting into utility bills now. Oh, well, my electric bill has been behind, blah, blah, blah. And it's been such a hot summer, and I've had to run my AC. And, I made a payment arrangement. If I don't make this payment on such and such a day, you know how that goes. They'll cut this off. So all of a sudden, that's like $100. You see how this slowly snowballed? But because you look at their situation, it's like, okay, well, they're suffering from this. Their husband just left them, or they're suffering from depression, or they they have this affliction, da 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 da. Okay, like I said, I'm not diminishing the fact that people have troubles, and it's okay to help someone every now and then. But when somebody's trying to place themselves in your pocket because they see your abundance and haven't contributed to you obtaining that, that's just got to go. You got to be tough when you are on your road to discovery. You got to be tough when you are on your road to achievement. You got to be watchful, and you got to be tough. And these are the sneaky type of people you got to be very careful of. So if you have this type of person that already knows in their mind, they're counting your pockets before they even get full. And they're very, very quiet about it. They'll come to you. They're already paying attention to what you're doing. They're watching you. They're paying attention to what you're doing. They may not acknowledge it. They may comment on little milestones every now and then to kind of let you know that they're there because they're going to do that. But once they have an extensive conversation past, hi, how you doing? Have you heard from so-and-so? All of a sudden it goes into the woe is me situation about how they need some shit from you. And it starts out as something small as $5 for gas, up to $50 for groceries, up to $100 for a utility bill. And then after that, all of a sudden they're behind in rent, and they get into the big money. But see, what happens is these people think they're slick, but they don't realize that they think they're so smart they're stupid. They'll turn around, they'll do something dumb to out themselves. 9 times out of 10 they will. Because they're so busy trying to be conniving and sneaky with you, they're not paying attention to the dumb shit they're doing. So you got to be very, very careful of who you're dealing with when you are trying to level up. You really have to be careful of that. Like I said, you got that one group of people ain't done shit for you, and they get in your face and feel that you owe them something and everything else once you get the bounty. And then you have, on the other end, you have this other group of people that will gradually get stuff out of you. So pay close attention to that. The golden rule when dealing with these type of people is, and I've said this before, if they are not part of the process, they cannot partake of the product. And if you live with that, then you won't have to worry about dealing with none of these people. If they were not part of the process, if they weren't part of trying to lift you up by doing the little things, alleviating your stress while you're going through it, offering you that support on a constant basis, and they see you getting toward the end, and all of a sudden they want to come up out of the blue and try to manipulate you in one form or another into thinking that you owe them something, you don't owe them shit. And these people always mess up because the same energy that they spend in trying to get somebody else's bounty, they could be working on themselves, and they refuse to do so because they're spiritually lazy. You don't have time for it. So with that being said, I hope you have a peaceful day, and thank you for listening in to the channel. I appreciate that.